Well, to recap, sorry about the music basic. I guess this is just a
Oh
lone
yeah.
hiccup. Uh, if you guys ever dual play again at the same place, but
Oh yeah. It's a first time. We'll work things out as we go.
Gotta work out the kinks.
yeah. But to recap slightly, because there was a lot of stuff happened over the year, and I won't get into what exactly happened over the year-long period. But what had happened when everybody had basically came together, Anarian, everybody was kind of having these scrying visions. Some people were experiencing visions for longer, visions that you could kind of tell who you were scrying on. You each had your own experiences. Anarian, you ventured off towards the Silverdell to meet up with Iljor to see if what you had been experiencing was in fact something everybody else was experiencing. And not to your surprise, it was. You and Iljor
My broken Voldemort watch.
decided to leave towards Anchorage, it being the biggest city that was near, while Carlisle and Sylvia were making their way to kind of meet up with you guys, as Carlisle could see the visions for longer and could concentrate more and kind of reproduce these visions at will almost, whereas everybody else just kind of comes randomly. When Anarian and Iljor,
A little bit NSFW.
when Anarian and Iljor came to Anchorage, their initial task, I guess, was to find Erosi, because he was kind of with the
Less
Thieves
easily
Guild.
located.
Yeah.
Well, within Anchorage, he had business ties to the Thieves Guild, or the Shadow Keep, and upon heading there, Erosi is essentially there outside the entrance. And Erosi can kind of see where people are during these scrying visions. So he was able to kind of pull together the rest of the party who was already in Anchorage and kind of be the anchor to bring everybody together instead of just being lost the entire time, which is good. That night, you guys headed to a tavern, which we'll get into in a second. But during this tavern experience, having drinks and a meal, the discussion came up to kind of figure out what's next. What's the next step? Everybody kind of listed their personal issues and personal goals, essentially, that can't be done on their own within yourselves. In addition to everything, this mark on your abdomen was also ever present. This mark, which can essentially be attributed to the amulet that's giving you these scrying visions. But it doesn't seem to be a time-sensitive matter. Everybody kind of has their own situations to deal with, and the party has kind of came to a conclusion on what they want to do next. The clock at this point in time is nearly upon 7 p.m. as the Westward Willow Tavern sits within the outskirts of the shopping district on the lower west side of Anchorage. The winter months are upon the northern hemisphere, as patrons are frequently coming and going throughout this tavern just to seek refuge from the cold. A nice, well-lit fireplace and a drink does wonders for the morale of the city during periods like these. Exchanging
Gotta get
stories.
shwasted.
Say again?
Gotta get shwasted.
Well, not necessarily wasted, but you know, it's a gathering point for lots of people, especially in the cold winter months. There's not a whole lot of places to go to sit by a fireplace and enjoy a drink, so it's fairly popular. Anarian, as the party has kind of came to a conclusion on what they want to do next, that being travel to Lothlorien for issues relating to you, I would like you to kind of not necessarily try to persuade the party because the party's already kind of made their decision, but kind of give some context as to why you're going there and etc. So I'll have you take the floor on that.
So we all gathered here because of fate. Clearly, for one reason or another, we're all tied together. However, I came to y'all for not just our ties and this mark and the amulet, but because I had a personal issue to gather all of you together. During our year apart, I searched for the man who witnessed my father's death. I hunted him in the city of Starstrider Hold, my home, for nearly that entire time. Never able to quite find an opportunity to catch him alone. Never had my chance, so I came searching for your help, all of your help, and hope to find this man and start my first step on the path to save my city, the path of my redemption. I don't ask this lightly of you all either. I am not welcome in my city under its current rule, and if y'all are seen with me, I can't promise your safety, but I pledge to you that if you help me with this quest for redemption, I will aid all of you with whatever you need, any way I can.
I'm at your disposal, my friend.
I always said I was there. If you needed anything, of course I'll go.
Yeah, I mean, you know I'm here to help. I feel like we're pretty close in Arion, so you've got my shillelagh too.
It is greatly appreciated.
Ryan, I just want to go with canonically. I accidentally cast the cantrip shillelagh when I said that.
Okay.
Basically, the staff that I'm carrying grows a bunch of thorns on it, and the tip gets all like knobby. Oh,
All naturey.
whoops.
Well, as sitting at your table in the far corners of this tavern, snacking would be a better description. Drinking and discussing a little bit more.
You're not going to use it?
If there's anything else you would like to do here, if there's a plan that you have set forth in Arian, whether you like to indulge that now or when you guys get to Starstrider Fold, it doesn't really matter. But if there's anything that you guys would like to do currently while in Anchorage, I guess the next question is what's the move? What is the party doing now?
And Sylvia pipes up and asks, "What kind of preparations should we be making, Narion?"
Well, you all won't have to necessarily hide yourselves as I will. I mean, basic travel is really it. There's nothing, as far as mental preparations, I don't know what to expect from this journey. Not yet.
Out of character. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Out of character, we still have that horse and carriage, right?
Oh no.
You
No.
probably do, because you bought it.
Yeah,
You
might
still have access to it.
if you kept like.
Well, the thing is, I remember the last session was that I let you guys take it and run off with it while I stayed back in Thalador. So
This is true.
we could just say that the horses are dead and the carriage has been taken somewhere.
Well, I mean, it depends
Okay,
on who
move
would
on.
take it. I mean, somebody has to have had it during the year-long
it would-
period.
Given Carlisle, what happened to, I mean, out of character knowledge, what happened to Carlisle when he was gone, it would make sense for him to have it.
Well, yeah, they had the farthest to travel, so we probably would have given it to Carlisle. Right,
Since
Cody?
you started up your own
Yeah.
business and shit, that would make sense.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we could say we'll retcon like you and Sylvia took the carriage to Anchorage. Explains a little bit
Well,
more,
because we'd said that they were riding in a carriage, just not which carriage they were riding in.
I suppose.
I'm still listening. I'm just stepping away for a second.
Wait, so how's it change? Wait, how's it changed?
So you've had a horse and carriage to your name,
Right.
and so we're just saying that you and Sylvia
Yeah.
took your horse and carriage to Anchorage, and it is currently at the stables at the eastern part of town where you came in.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, when Nick gets back.
He said he's here.
He
He's
can
just,
still hear
he's-
us.
he's-
Oh, he can still
yeah,
hear us?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
The,
Weird.
the eternal piss.
Yeah, he's fucking...
Or
The
The
Omega
eternal
piss.
Nick's kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I have to ask you, Anarion. How magically competent are the people Star Strider hold? I know you yourself are a warlock, but what about the general population?
Well, I know that it's not uncommon. I mean, there's probably about as many as you would expect in any fairly large city. But I do have a wizard that helped me during my time there. Somebody I know that we can trust.
I was going to say, personally, we could just get something like a simple invisibility potion or something like that to smuggle you in. But if you know someone, more the better, I guess. Hopefully he knows maybe some sort of teleportation magic or something. 'Cause
He really
I
just,
really
like-
don't see how we would get you in otherwise.
He really just disguised me, right, Ryan?
Yes, basically disguise self. It was a really simple spell. Since you're pretty much like clothed from head to toe, you just need to wear the shroud to like cover your face because of
Yeah.
your race.
Okay, so out of character, like it works with just a disguise self type thing, right? Like
To disguise
he
an
got
area.
in before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's not that hard to get in. I was thinking like they could just detect magic if
No,
like, he was invisible
I
or disguised like that. Like,
I got in before, so.
okay.
It's not like a heavily fortified city. Like there's not guards like checking every single
No.
person that comes in.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, we're literally fucked unless like we teleport in or something like that.
No, it's
Yeah.
not crazy.
That's good.
How long is it going to take to get from here?
Was it like a week ride from Anchorage?
Nick in the abyss.
Maybe.
and that's not minding that we might have to drop off the horse and carriage at a way station of some sort.
Well, yeah, we would have to drop it at a. What was the name of that city, Ryan, where we stopped last time? Valador.
Valdor.
We'll have to drop the horse and carriage there, or we'll have to go around the horn of the mountains and go to Loch Loren, excuse me, that way.
If we can find a map of the mountains, we could probably figure out what the best option is for us.
We don't have a map, do we, Ryan?
Or
You have
I
a
don't-
map in your it's under maps. Or it's under journal entries maps.
Journal entries, maps.
I don't know why it's kind of fuzzy for me.
Best items, best items.
And under like the journal on the right side or on the left side?
Top right.
Right.
You see maps. I'm actually not sure exactly what you guys see, but I see.
He's
I see misc items, quest items, and quest log.
Yeah, same. I don't see a map in any of those. Could have sworn it was there before.
There we
at
go.
one point.
Outstanding. Oh, this is gonna take a while to load, isn't it?
No, it's just the continent you're on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's
I
just
mean-
behind. No, it's just not opening.
No, that's because
It
your
takes a
connection
second.
sucks.
It does take a second.
Oh, Jesus.
So if you
How many times did I
spam
open the basic? Do you want to think?
yeah.
Probably a good several clicks in there.
I wish I could adequately say. Let me. I could actually bring up the world map.
Oh God, Ryan, don't.
Well,
oh
no,
wait,
for
I've
me.
got a really dumb idea.
Okay.
For me, because it loads.
Oh, there we
faster.
go. It opened. It opened. Okay. Yeah. So, because Lothren's on like the far side of the mountains to us, right, Ryan?
If you were to go straight there, like what's the what's the current course of action? Like, where's the next place you like? Think about it and like not going straight to Lothlorien, but like, what's the next place you want to hit?
We want to find a way station to drop the horse and carriage at, and we're trying to figure out the best way station. Should we go around the horn of the mountain so that way we can
Do you
just
see what I mean?
walk through what could potentially be, you know, a couple hillside passages and then a valley, or
So right now we're here. Lothren's on the other side of this mountain here.
Any town
Right.
or city would hold your horse and carriage for you.
we could just do Thalor again and make that trip. And
Across the mountains. I feel like that's unnecessary though. I know it's extra travel time, but we could just go around.
well,
Good old
That's kinda what I'm-
Thalor.
Are you dongling in?
I'm dongling in so that way I can hijack your setup.
It didn't
Sorry, I
work
had
for-
to acquire
Oh
some
no.
pizza.
Basic.
But I'm back.
Cease. Desist.
Okay, keep it in
with-
there though.
With the
I'm-
weather, with the weather in
when
the
it's
Diacre, with the weather in the Diacre, it's gonna present challenges. It's probably gonna be like what it was last time, like maybe 2 or 3 days travel, just from Thaldor to Lothlorien. If you go around the Horn and hit like Dracot and then Set, and then go to like Galrod or something and go to like the the regions next to Lothlorien, it would take you making good time, probably like a day, honestly. You'd probably be cutting a couple days out just from going around the Horn and hitting it from the west side.
And it would also be much less dangerous.
I mean,
feel like.
cutting a couple days out, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But also, we're not gonna have to deal with whatever the fuck was on that mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like the best way then.
Funny that we might actually learn more about what the fuck was on that mountain, so we might actually run into it anyway.
Well, yeah, at least we'll know more about it at that point.
So, what are you guys doing now?
Let's see. We should go and collect supplies first, for the road.
Well, what time is it? It's like 7?
Yeah, it's like
8?
7.
We should probably stay here for the night and then head out in the morning. But I agree,
Yeah.
we should gather supplies and shit.
You guys do have another night on your, from staying in Anchorage. You have one more night.
We can take our time with it then. In game. Let's see here.
Are there any shops I know that would give us a good price on provisions, Ryan? Because I've traded with quite a few people in Anchorage.
You've traded with a few people in Anchorage, but your primary means of trading would be with Meter Key.
Bear in mind, Erosi also has Thieves Guild's connections.
This is true.
Not to say Erosi's fond of it, but there could also be some necessary contraband.
Drugs!
Not that kind of contraband.
We will become drug mules and make lots
I'm
of
talking
money.
like explosives
Hey,
and
we can
other
sell it on the
things.
Fey Road.
Or,
Yeah.
true, we could just grab a load of spice, say fuck all the quests, and just become spice dealers.
Also for the time that the year-long time span to make up for gold you guys would have earned, I think I want to have you guys roll 3d20, and that's the extra gold you have in addition to what you have now.
3d20?
Standing.
3d20.
Basic, can you grab that set for me?
I'll read this. Oh, that's a 10. What set?
That one. Right there.
Yeah. Alright.
The Midas set.
The Midas
I want to
set?
roll. I want to roll my golden dice.
Cody, roll an extra 2d6 because of you have your business and everything.
I got fucked
Heard.
up. Yep.
I got 27.
Yeah, those are some good rolls. Thank you, game.
I got 20 left.
50. That's pretty decent.
Do I get any extra for my trading of furs and things?
Well, no, because you're trading.
For goods and services?
Cody has a business.
Which
Or
I
do you
still
not,
work
do you not
details
trade
out,
things
but
for
yeah,
money,
thank
Ryan?
you.
I mean, I don't know what a furball is going to do with gold. I figure you just
I'm-
trading, like, sustenance and, clothing.
What did I roll? 27? Yeah.
We re-roll ones, Ryan.
Yeah, you can reroll ones.
Okay, good.
I don't
It was
know
a
how to tell
natural
if I
one.
got any
Oh,
ones.
great, it was a 4.
Oh, Rap rolled in real life. I rolled up here.
And then a
as
2.
well.
Yeah, why are you rolling IRL, dude?
Because I feel
got
like
a
it.
7 and a 4 and a 4.
Rap breaking the rules.
Yup.
It's because Rap has
Ryan, that
20
was
dice
one
sets.
thing. That was one thing I wanted to do
Fine,
here.
I'll roll.
I wanted
I'll
to
roll.
get,
Fine. Fuck it.
No, you're
I
good. Keep
wanted
it.
to get, essentially like
Fuck. I got
a magical
24 gold.
business card.
A magical business card?
Or like multiple of them, like you can hand them out and they move and shit. Like they were saying, like almost like Rap was saying or Ilzor, like you like kind of like have it one way and then you turn it and it's like a different image.
Basically,
That'd be
no.
cool.
Type in 98
Have
there.
a minor image on each of your
Why?
fucking
Because
business
that's the
cards.
number I got. 21
Enchanted
gold.
business cards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You can just hand it to every NPC we meet.
Yes. Come check out the shop.
no, I got 7 less
Have
gold
you
than a
heard?
Rosie wrote.
It's not a bad way to advertise. Get some business cards, especially if you're gonna be traveling a lot.
Dude, I'm just imagining that now people like sell like a drug dealer where like they sell the drugs and it's like when you snort it, there's magic in it that makes you like
Hallucinate and add.
branded, yeah, like have branded hallucinations.
Oh yeah.
Mind flare.
Like
you
producer
trying to-
tags.
Are you trying to add microtransactions to my fucking trips?
Yes.
He's trying to add producer tags, dude.
What is this watermark I'm
Birkin
seeing?
got the juice.
Why is there a watermark in my eyeball?
So,
Yeah, while you're tripping, if you like look up, there's like a symbol in your eye.
anyways, what are you guys buying?
Yes, that was the joke.
I am legit serious about the business cards. I'm going to inquire if I can
Yes,
find one that can make them.
Carlisle,
I don't.
if it doesn't burst into flames if someone throws it in the trash can, I will be disappointed.
Yeah,
Uh,
I could have that. That's really what people want.
It's what the people want.
the Arcana Guild could
It's
maybe
what a
make
Rosie
you
wants.
something for a price. It would be expensive, because considering they're it's more than just a business card.
It's a business expense though.
Mm-hmm.
Is he actually paying with his own
You got-
money
It's a tax
or
write-off.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's a
tax
tax
write-off.
His
Exactly.
his business isn't in the black yet, so he's still not making profits from his shit. So Cody's not sitting on a gold
Yeah.
mine yet.
Just use Scribe Scroll and just print in sheets. Make them yourself.
how much is Ryan Cody looking at here?
True.
That's something I'll
It's-
discuss with Cody, and we'll see if it's
All good then.
So you guys are hitting up shops. I remember Basic. You said you were gonna.
Yeah, if Thieves Guild has any interesting tools that we can necessarily use in the mountains, or something that's especially something that we can conceal on ourselves in case we need it.
Like what?
Like a weapon or something. I'm
buck knife.
not saying a
I mean,
butthole
we
knife,
have.
but I'm saying like an easy shiv or something that can go under clothes as opposed to like a full-size dagger.
Okay.
Basic is looking for
He
like
wants a
fucking
small-size dagger.
survival.
I'm looking to not be without a way to cut someone. Okay. I could punch them in the face. That would also work out very well.
Wait, you can't just summon your sword?
No.
You're also
You-
a dragonborn who can breathe like
This is true.
your shit.
Is there?
What color dragonborn are you?
Gold.
You could probably find a
So,
shiv
I-
from the Thieves Guild
iron?
for like a silver piece, some prison shank.
Yeah.
Hey, you
Yeah,
know,
by myself. And then I wonder, would they happen to have any tonics? Would they happen to have any tonics that I could buy as well? In terms of like, I'm thinking, I don't know,
Healing potions?
healing potions or something to like add max life or anything that you can come up with, more or less. Because I'm running out of.
You want
ideas.
special potions.
I want special potions.
Not just like the
Buff
basic
potions.
bitch potions.
Because you know the good.
No, I said illegal shit.
The good stamina potions are called skooma.
The Thieves Guild, I don't think they would have anything like that. They're not.
Alright.
They're not like super. Fuck. They're not super like magically like sound as far as like their
Products. Yeah.
inventories.
I see. That would have to be special request then.
Hey, Orosi,
Yeah.
is there a way that we could like, I don't know, get a way to like a special, like a secret compartment added to the carriage or something
You have
to
a bag of
transport
holding.
stuff?
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's true, I suppose.
And also, that would require. Well, we're actually going to be sticking around here for a day or so, so I
I mean,
suppose
I'm
we could
just-
put
I'm
in
just
work or
curious.
something. But I wouldn't go to these guilds for that. You'd probably be better off just going to even probably just a regular carpenter even.
You think a reputable carpenter adding a secret
Well-
compartment to a carriage?
Well, you got to think here for a moment. It's not the Thieves Guild that does it. They probably outsource for that stuff. So ask the Thieves Guild
Who to go to?
who to go to.
You could probably get something added to your cart for
Maybe.
like 45 gold, and it would be a secret. Well, depending on what size you want, that would make the DC if the carriage was searched to find it really high.
Does anybody have anything valuable that they don't want kept in the bag of holding that would make that worthwhile?
I can't think of a reason why we should, but I can't think of a reason why not either.
I mean, if what did you say? It was 45 gold, Ryan?
Depending on the size. Depending on
So
how
like
big
the
you want it.
basic, the most basic one is 45.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what is this? What is it?
They're looking for. They're trying to get like a. They're trying to make like a secret compartment on the carriage to hold shit.
Okay.
45 gold. That's only like
Um,
7 gold. Is that like 7
Oh.
gold or 8 gold from each of us?
Wait, do we know for sure if the carriage, if we're actually bringing the carriage through up to Star Strider Hold? Or, no, Lothlorn?
Well, for
Oh.
Warren, you could take a carriage there.
yeah, I believe.
Just be
the
ready
plan-
for them to impound it in case we get in trouble.
Wait, Ryan. How big would this minimum size compartment be?
But does it matter if you stuff a bag of holding
Oh,
into it?
No, my main question here is, could we fit a person inside this
No,
Okay.
Could you fit a gnome inside this compartment?
maybe.
Those are pretty big, aren't they?
I was asking because, like, I'm just imagining we just get a compartment added onto the carriage.
Think of it like 2 shoe boxes next to each other. That's how big this compartment is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but shoeboxes come in variable sizes, and yeah.
Like you're thinking of the shoes, like regular size shoe boxes next to each other.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
actually have a shoebox in unfortunately.
Okay,
Yeah, very good.
Sylvia
Uh,
is going to buy 7 days worth of rations. That's 4 gold, 5 silver. 'Cause I think it's 5 silver per. Oh wait, it'd be 3 gold. 3 gold.
Yeah, that's right. I don't have my rations no more.
Well, everybody minus 3 gold for rations for each of you. Plus, what I mean, horse rations for 7 days would be a gold, I think. Be super cheap.
3 gold per.
I'll do an
Wait.
extra since I'm getting 7.
How much rations is that 3 gold, Ryan?
7 days. Right? Is that what you said, Eli?
That's 6 days.
7
Since
days.
it's
Yeah, 7
5
days is fine.
silver.
Yeah, 3 gold for 7 days is fine. We'll do that.
Alright.
Don't worry about 6 days.
You know what? I will buy if it's from Thieves Guild or a blacksmith, either a sturdy woodcutting axe or like a breaching axe or something to knock down doors.
Okay, as long as you can carry it.
It'll probably be staying in the carriage for a majority of the time.
Okay. Is there anything?
Oh, there it is. Rations.
What's your healing potions?
What did we say healing potions were?
I don't remember.
25 gold, I think.
I like 5 gold.
Yeah, no. Healing potions were pretty expensive.
25 sounded close to right, but I don't know
Yeah.
if that was exactly what we decided on.
I thought it was.
Oh yeah, 25. So it's half. It's half of what the book is.
Wait, it's 50 in the book? Jeez.
50. Yeah, they're pretty rare. And that's 2d4 plus 2, I think.
I'm gonna buy 2 of them.
Okay.
Ryan, can I say that I left all these books at home?
Sure.
Just because I don't think that we would need them.
Yeah. If anybody wants to redo their inventory and leave stuff at home, go ahead and do it. Like, it's perfectly understandable.
I don't have a.
Is there a way that you
I
can
am
keep track
homeless.
of them like being a thing without me having to have them in my inventory?
I'll have you write them down on like
That's
a
a
note.
terrible idea.
It is a terrible idea, but it's up to you to keep track of them in your own place. And if you don't have it written down, or you've lost the sheet or whatever, then you've lost the items within your home.
I'm gonna leave behind my quarterstaff because I have not used it the whole time. Could I put my tent, like all the pieces, into the bag of holding?
It's just a one-person tent.
It's a 2-person tent.
Not
I
probably
already
not a
have a
two-person
two-person
tent.
tent.
I mean, you could probably fit all the little pieces in there, like even the cloth, right?
Oh, I'll say maybe like a one-person tent, but not a two-person tent. Just the way the structure of it is.
Well, I already have a two-person tent in the bag of holding.
Oh,
Call 911. He's
Cheater.
breaking the rules.
Take it out. Take it out.
No, Ryan said it would fit, so I put it in there.
Well, it doesn't fit anymore.
Did I say it would fit?
Yeah.
He's
It
like,
literally just said it
fine.
doesn't fit.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Fitz, damn it.
You son of a bitch.
alright, I want to throw mine in there too then.
One second, I'm putting books into a note.
Can I throw my alchemist fire into his bag of holding as an attack action?
Oh my god. Uh-oh.
Combat would initiate upon throwing, and then as soon as it enters the bag of holding, combat would stop.
Anytime he reaches into it, he just burns his hand.
Oh, well,
bag
it
of-
might
it
burn
turns into a bag of
everything in
fire.
there, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, but things are left in stasis, like when they're in the bag of holding. Well, oh wait, there's no oxygen in the bag of holding. So as soon as the bag of holding would be closed, the fire would
This is-
instantly go out.
This is magic land. It's magic fire. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Is
You
it
got a
magic
magical
fire?
bag, I got a magical fire. It's wizard
Almost accidentally
time,
increased my DPI for a
It's
second.
Fireball.
Fireball.
Fireball, yep.
To kind of speed up the shopping process, does anybody want to buy anything else? Just kind of let me know.
Warmer clothes. I know that we already got the.
We bought cold weather gear last time.
I know we got more. We already got cold weather gear, but I am looking for. Well, I don't know. You might know.
Sweatshirt,
I'll go with what
a
I've
hoodie.
got. Yeah. Can I get some Nike sweatshirts, man? I've been lacking in style, honestly. I need something to go with the shirt I got for the bar last year.
Yeah, if you want to buy some, decent, warm, like not cold weather gear, but warmer clothes, yeah, that would probably
I thought he was gonna say some decent Nike sweatshirt.
probably like 5 silver.
What is that, an elven name?
If you want to not worry about like the cold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Can I buy like a black bandana or a scarf or something to kind of cover my face?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. How much would you run me that?
A silver.
Cool.
I'll buy a cloak as well for myself.
Did you add that tent to the bag?
Yeah, I added it into the bag.
Okay, sweet. I'm ready.
Ready up. Ready up.
Ready?
I don't know where the ready button is.
What did you buy, Mason?
Let's see here. I bought a shiv, 7 days of ration.
Is this actually an item? Is a shiv actually an item?
It's probably not actually an item, but we can work something out.
We'll
on the
just
fly.
use it as a small size class dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
something.
with a bonus to
You want me to
concealment.
just modify one of your daggers into a shiv, basic?
We can add another.
You have 3 daggers.
I have 3 daggers. Yes, I must be armed. I am the fighter of the group.
2 of those are throwing daggers.
Well, as you make your final purchases, we'll say that the purchases kind of take place over the next hour or so. Hour and a half for Erosi because he had to go to the Thieves Guild and inquire about a shiv. You all make your way back to your respective rooms in your hotels. And I'm guessing the plan is to meet somewhere, maybe outside. Because you guys aren't together, remember? I think Anarian and Iljor are at a separate inn. Then
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll just meet up somewhere at the
Okay.
carriage.
What is the benefit of hiding to the shiv? Right.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be you would have to make a higher DC to find it. If you-
Like, is it like a plus? I just want to include it in the description of the shiv item that I'm adding to his inventory.
like to attack
We
and
can-
hit.
But no, for like what's the bonus to concealment more or less? If I were
Oh.
to do concealment with it,
+3.
+3.
That's spelled
+4
spelled
if you hide it in
conceal.
your butt.
Oh.
C-O-N...
It's a.
E-L-A-L...
You are having a hard time, I think.
C-O-N-E-E-A-L.
He's. I got it for him.
So we'll say that for the time being, everybody takes their rests for the night, wakes up in the morning, and meets outside
Gonna hit save. Oh,
in
no.
the early morning hours
It does.
of November the 7th.
Look. Yeah, +3 to conceal on body and +4 for prison wallet. That's what I put in the item description.
I'm gonna expedite this real quick. Ah.
That's the only thing that you told me you bought.
Oh
Oh god, Ryan's loading a new map.
Oh yes, we are along for the ride now. So
It's just thematic.
we're looking for.
I'll continue on as Basic helps out Rap.
Basic is doing his own items, just using my keyboard. And then just change, modify the quantity.
You guys ready to head out of Anchorage?
Oh, you didn't add them to your inventory.
Yep.
I think so.
Okay. Moving through the streets, passing by various instances of what can only be described as amateur entrepreneurship. People trying to sell things, trying to start up their own little side projects. Just generally trying to reach the masses with their product. The streets are fairly busy for the early morning hours in Anchorage. Soon, passing through the gates in your horse and carriage, leaving Anchorage behind, the journey through the Silverdale resumes. The path ahead slowly progresses from stone to dirt as the city behind you is eventually shrouded by low-hanging branches. I'll go ahead and for this particular.
Okay,
Starting to get cold up in here.
It is cold and it is rainy, and this rain has persisted since the night before. So the ground is cold and hard and, full of dead leaves from the Silverdale, as the trees are, changing colors, and the colder months are upon you guys.
Wood cutting Z.
There we go.
You all good to go, Raptor?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. Basics just over here.
Yeah, I've got everything.
Okay. Walking an hour or two along the dirt path, in the early morning hours, it's probably around, we'll say like 7 or 8 a.m. Fairly well lit.
Suspicious.
Although peering up the forest, treetops are kind of, streaks of light are coming down, so it's fairly well lit enough to see. But the Silverdale is, with the light fog from the rain and everything, you can't quite see as well as you normally could. But regardless, making your way, there doesn't seem to be any instances of danger present in the first hour and a half or so. Seeing various creatures, foxes, deer, different rodents kind of running about, trying to take shelter from the rain, the occasional bird singing off in the distance.
Do any unique creatures catch my eye?
Unique creatures? Not in this hour and a half.
Not necessarily like unique, like a singular, but just like uncommon or interesting.
Probably about 45 minutes to an hour in, you hear the song of a bird. And this particular bird, its song is very, what's the word? Holds somewhat sentimental value, as this colony of birds, or the species of bird, is very present in and around your area of living. And so a lot of moments that you've had with your mother or with the wood elves over the last year were accompanied by this songbird within the air. So just hearing the calls of this particular species kind of bring back various memories over the last at least 5 years of varying times. So this song that you hear off in the distance just immediately fills you with nostalgia, even though it wasn't that long ago. Still various memories of you and your mother out hunting.
This is not just recent memories; it's long into my past too.
Yeah, well, memories that you can tell with at least 5 years, maybe perhaps even longer, as your sense of time after that is a little distorted. But yeah, nothing really that catches your eye per se, more so catches your ear within the next hour and a half. But a couple hours into your journey through the Silverdale, a light breeze is gusted over your faces. This uncanny breeze that doesn't appear to have a particular origin. The trees are unmoved in this instance, and as everybody kind of takes into account this weird sudden movement of air, what's the marching order right now?
We're in a
carriage, right?
Carriage.
Oh, sorry, the carriage. I forgot you guys are in the carriage. My bad.
Who's driving?
Yeah, who's driving?
Probably Rap.
Feels
Yeah,
Probably Illijor. He's the most friendly person with
my
the
animal
animals.
handling is +4.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you
mine
go.
is not good.
anytime
As-
he's not going, Sylvia's fine with going out because she feels more at home when it's raining.
Okay. As
There's
this
a co-pilot seat.
sort of breeze kind of comes over all of your faces, who we say the driver was again?
Me.
Iljor, as you peer ahead, several bodies are standing in the middle of the road, approximately 5 foot in height, humanoid, as their shadows, as their silhouettes are behind the fog. These
Slow the carriage down.
as the carriage slows, I mean, you're still maintaining going forward, right?
Yeah, but like maybe 40% of the speed we were going prior.
Okay. As the silhouettes begin to manifest through the fog, these creatures appear to be wood elves, and they seem to be preoccupied with something. But as soon as they notice you, or as soon as it seems like they're noticing you, they're looking directly at you. Weapons, bows, not drawn, but kind of at the ready stance, moving forward towards the carriage.
Oh, hello.
You were probably 20 or 30 feet away as you were forced to halt the carriage.
Yeah, I stopped.
One of
I do speak Elvish, Ryan,
Okay.
just so you know.
These wood elves, like I said, approximately 5 foot in height. A long, dark hair. There's 3 of them. Long, dark hair. Their hair adorned in various artifacts from the forest, different plants, done up in such a way that it's very wood elf-like. They're wearing normal wood elf attire, hide armor, everything made from the forest. You know, they stand out amongst the other elves of the region. As 2 of the elves maintain their posture in the front, and another one kind of encircles. The one that is
What was the
encircling.
last one?
Huh?
There's 4.
There's 3.
Oh, I thought you said there was.
No.
I heard 3.
Yeah, everybody else are 3. 2 in the front, 1 encircling you, kind of going around. As you halt the carriage, stop. Carlisle, you feel the cold steel of a blade find your chin.
Oh shit.
As you slightly look to the right, or however you're sitting in this carriage, a wood elf has silently made their way onto the carriage as it stopped. It doesn't say anything, but the wood elf in the front calls out. It appears someone is lost.
I reply back in Elvish. Oh, I'm not lost, friend. We're just heading through here.
The wood elf speaks in Elvish back to you. Can everybody else in your party speak Elvish, or just us?
I don't know. Can you understand
can.
me, Carlisle? I speak back to Carlisle in Elvish.
I'm trying to remember if I actually.
It's on your
got that.
attributes page
Yeah.
on the front.
You're
Still-
elf. Aren't you elvish?
No,
no,
he's
he's
a
a lad.
ladrin.
He's a
Sylvan.
lad.
No, I speak
Oh.
Sylvan.
I do, I
Uh,
say.
Sylvia speaks Elvish as well, but she's gonna keep quiet.
I look. Okay, so I reply to Iljor, but do I notice the wood elf that's got his knife to Carlisle's chin?
Yes, as the cold steel comes up under your chin, Carlisle, everybody else notices. And so there is 4 total now. 1 close, 2 in the road in front of the carriage, and 1 kind of next to the carriage speaking to Iljor.
So
I
after
just want to
Iljor,
say I was psychically right.
after
There was
Iljor
4.
turns around and says, ask Carlisle if he speaks Elvish. I stare like at the drow that's got the knife at Carlisle's chin and just reply and say, I do.
They're not drow. They're wood elves.
Or the wood elf. I'm sorry. I'm a drow.
The wood elf
I
is
look at the wood elf and
still,
yeah.
the wood elf is still peering at you, Iljor, waiting for a response as you are the driver. It recognizes you as the...
Looks like there's 2 of us.
The wood elf replies in common. So, let's speak common then. I don't want anybody to be misunderstood here.
All right.
What are your intentions here, and why have you strayed so far from the path?
But are we straying far from the path, Ryan?
This path that you're currently on, due to the weather and the essentially brush that's kind of picked up from the change in seasons, I wouldn't say Ildjur really kind of, well, actually your knowledge of the Silver Door and its pathing would be, this path doesn't appear to be that of like a main trail. It's only slightly smaller as you peer from left to right and kind of analyze the dimensions.
So it's just like less commonly used.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean there. I mean, this is a relatively commonly used path here in the Silverdell. I've lived here my whole life. I think I'd know if we were traveling into territory of any folk that we wouldn't want to disturb too bad. I'd hope.
See, that is where you are wrong. The wood elves here are very perceptive in what travels through these forests. It's not very often we have visitors. I just want to make sure your intentions are well.
Are any of these elves familiar to me?
No.
Okay. And what was the name of the leader of the wood elf settlement near my home?
The leader? I don't know if you know the leader.
You gave it to him because I remember you saying it, but I didn't write it down.
Is it like
'cause wasn't-
Valhalla
it didn't pertain to me.
or something?
Valhalla.
Was the One second, I'm just writing it down. Whoa. Me and my family have been good friends with Valhalla and the elven settlement up near where I live, near Miroki. So, I wasn't familiar with any other elven settlements that were in this area in the Silverdell.
We don't partake in any other elven territories besides our own. So, I'm unfamiliar with who you speak of, but I don't disbelieve you. I see the weapons you carry. I just want to make sure your intentions are well, and my men will back off.
We are simply here to pass through. Our objective lies elsewhere.
We're actually heading up near what is that area called? The
Die Acre.
yeah, we're heading up towards the Die Acre.
The
Die
Cryacre.
Cryacre.
The Die Acre Mountains. What? You know what? I will let your business be your own. But I have to say, this territory belongs to my men and my wood elves.
What made me call you?
My name is Garand. And if it isn't such a bother on your party, we would at least like to escort you through.
And if it's not such a bother to you, could you remove your blade from my friend's neck?
The cold steel under your chin lowers as the wood elf sheathes the sword, and very, I don't want to say very silently, but just the way this wood elf kind of maneuvers off the carriage is very, very smooth.
Stealthy.
He slides off.
Like butter. He's just like a sheet of paper, just fucking.
What's your secret stealth? I lather myself in butter.
Yeah.
The wood elf peers back to you, Ildjur. The journey through this territory should only be another few hours. With the way daylight's looking and the season change, it should be getting dark before we hit the end. You never know.
Oh, we can if there's any specific areas where you would prefer for us to rest as not to intrude on your business, we'd be more than happy to.
The wood elf looks back at his men and looks over your shoulder, over Anarian's shoulder, over Erosi's, and peers at the other wood elf that's kind of standing on the other side of the carriage. Well, if you'd like, maybe we can oblige you in shelter.
I mean, it's up to you. I'm not asking to, for us to be let into your settlement or nothing. Just if there's like any particular clearings that you would like for us to stay in or anything like that, as to avoid, stepping on anybody's private property or anything.
You're very lucky that you're a Firbolg and you have an Eladrin in your party, as we would not be as nice as if you hadn't. However,
Oh, they don't like me.
being as it may, traveling through our territory, I don't think we see you as a threat, and I sure hope that you don't intend to be any sort of threat to our property,
Oh, God, no,
to our flora, our fauna. Not that we don't trust you, but an escort could go a long way in forces like these.
Oh, of course. Of course. No, we're not. We're definitely willing to be escorted. That's just. But like you said, it's just going to be getting dark before we're done with leaving your territory. So I just, if there's a specific spot you'd like for us to stop or anything, that's what.
Yeah, I can think of a place or two. Why don't we?
Well, all right.
Why don't we move through the forest? We'll act like you're not there. You act like we're not there. Let's just have each other's backs then, shall we? At least
Okay.
until you exit the territory.
Sure. Not a problem at all.
Ryan, real quick, out of character, when we're scrying through each other's eyes and shit, did you say we're kind of like almost like it looks like we're sleeping, or like we look like we're awake still and like?
Your eyes are closed, and you
It's like a
have no
meditation,
perception. Yeah, it's like a meditation. You have no perception of what's around you. So either it kind of brings you to your knees, or, I mean, if you're standing and you have this vision, it would probably bring you to your knees, or you would have to like kneel down, or you'd have to kind of hunch over if you can concentrate and remain standing. But it's not something that you're perceptive of the rest of the world while it's happening.
Okay. For a second, I had to ask because I was gonna have Carlisle like tell Anarion like, all right, time for a horror show. Like, look into my eyes, and then I'm gonna scry into yours.
Oh,
I want to
shit.
see what happens. like how that
It's a
looks.
He
kaleidoscope.
gets trapped in my body.
He's like, ah,
It's a
I'm
Freaky
just
Friday.
imagining, Ryan.
Freaky Friday situation.
real Twilight Zone, dude. Hell yeah.
We could absolutely use Carlisle could absolutely use that as like a fainting thing, right? Like he's like in the middle of something and he needs like a get out of jail free card, and he just like meditates for a second and then just like passes out.
His mind's so long. Yeah, just like.
To
Yeah,
concentrate and
fuck
scry on somebody, I don't think you can pick who you're scrying on just yet, Carlisle, but you have to concentrate for like a minute.
All right, everybody, stare into my eyes.
Dude, we're about to rig card games at the tavern.
Everyone hold a mirror in front of your face.
So, hold on a second. Yeah, we gotta get like some mirrors going here. We gotta get like.
Dude, we could literally have one of us be the judge of a game we're gambling with someone. It's like, hey, man, like, scry through my eyes, bro. Scry through my
That's fucked
Who's
up.
gonna
Maybe one
who's
day.
gonna have a seizure this time, guys? From looking into each other's eyes. It's gonna be Carlisle. It's gonna be Adaria. So you're gonna fall on the floor, probably.
So, currently, you have 2 wood elves at the front, maintaining a distance of approximately 30 feet, and then 2 wood elves in the back, same distance, walking alongside of the road through this territory that's owned by the wood elves, a territory that what seems like sacred, as wood elves are they're territorial, but they're not hostile if
Yeah.
you're not.
Unless you're hostile to them.
Right.
Or the forest.
So the
So-
journey. Sorry, go ahead. Basically.
Is the wood cutting axe that I bought contraband then?
No, no.
No, they do understand using the forest for things.
Oh,
That's
okay, I
that's a
suppose.
door cutting axe.
That's a door cutting axe. That is true. I did say wood breaching axe as well. So
So this sort of escort, this not even, it's not really a caravan, but like this escort through the forest of the Silverdale. The journey is slightly slower, but you have the backing of multiple wood elves who know the area in a way that they would be able to kind of watch out for things that you couldn't see, especially being 20 or 30 feet ahead of you. And they stop you guys a couple times as the journey continues. Investigate, kind of come back. This is more so not just for your safety. Like they're not so much worried about your safety as they're worried about their lands and strangers coming.
Like making sure that we're not interrupting anything by traveling through that area.
Yeah.
I pissed on the wrong tree, guys.
And as the hours go by, it does start to get dark earlier. As dusk is probably a few hours away, so it's approximately probably like 2 or 3 getting there. Safely, at least. Eventually, as twilight fills the sky, the forest dim, the ground still cold, the rain still pouring, the wood elves stop. The carriage comes to a short halt, and the wood elf you spoke to, Iljor, walks up to you. This shelter you requested, I may know a place.
Oh, fantastic.
I would like you all to see.
Oh, everybody, we're getting off the carriage here.
I wouldn't advise keeping the carriage along the road, but I do have an area in which you could park it.
That's a good idea.
As he kind of, it's just you follow him as he moves the carriage probably 40 or 50 feet further forward and guides you along into the forest as there's a small clearing off to the side and kind of hides the carriage amongst a gathering of trees. The wood elves stand around the carriage as you guys get off of it.
Is there somewhere you'd like me to tie up the horses?
Any particular tree, it doesn't matter.
Well, I'll put them like a couple of trees like away from the carriage, so they have like their own space, not like inhibited by the carriage being in the way.
Okay. The wood elf, as you finish tying up the horses, reaches out his hand to shake yours, Melchior.
My much larger hand than his.
Grand Eltern. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, I'm Eljor Still-Light.
And the rest of your party?
Sylvia.
Orosi Rogar of Clan Orosi.
Neron. It's good to see wood elves again.
Though we have our differences, Drow, I'd be willing to put them aside in this very specific instance. Any friend of a Furbolg is a friend of wood elves. And he looks over back at you, Iljor.
Yeah, he's a good sword.
Follow me.
Even me mums likes him.
As the wood elf leads you a little bit deeper into the forest as night begins to settle. The rain still persisting. Though as you kind of get a little deeper into the forest, the rain subsides. The Let me just the weather effects.
Oh, so he's like leading us further into the forest.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
As this essence in the air is it seems omnipresent. This sort of feeling as if you're in a place where you belong, in a way. You guys come upon a very large, thick tree, huge. Its circumference is vast. I wouldn't know how to exactly put it, but you could probably stand every member of the party alongside, shoulder to shoulder, and the tree would probably be more wider than
Like a redwood.
Maybe slightly larger. Huge.
I mean, there are redwoods
Very
with tunnels
slightly
to
huge.
drive cars through them.
It's a very girthy trunk it has.
Then yeah, basically like a redwood then. Let's see.
Yeah. It's like a great tree, basically.
As the
Grape tree.
Great.
the wood elves kind of peer over their shoulders. This is the place. As you can see him grasp the bark from the tree and kind of maneuver it open as if it's a doorway. The front of the tree opens like a door, as is darkness inside. Darkness inside. The wood elf gestures. Please.
Well, thank you very much.
Did everybody go in?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As the
Not like
as,
we have much choice, to be honest.
as you go in, stepping inside is a wooden floor, but it doesn't appear to be set in place. The rest of the wood elves maneuver inside, and there's enough room to kind of move about a little bit. It's a little cramped, but you guys can move about with 4 wood elves and yourselves. The wood elf Garand closes the bark of the tree, and you feel the floor shift. You feel your body kind of being thrust downward as you feel like you're going up.
Hidden tree elevator.
A few moments pass
Yeah, these elves are fucking baller.
as light within the tree begins to go from darkness to a very, very dim, very, very dim light coming from the outside. The wood elf, as you can barely make out its face within the darkness, says to you all, "Welcome to Sinalsa." The wood elf,
You do not own any tokens with vision in this scene.
yeah, you do. Hold on.
Liar.
As the
Wild.
door to the bark
It's their
is
settlement.
thrust open, as you're met with this treetop village amongst the trees of the Silverdale. Something that is rarely seen by folk that prowl the lands below. Something that was not seen even upon looking up. A village completely shrouded by the trees of the Silverdale.
Rosie's just standing there, staring up at all this in awe.
I will say to Garand, if he's not super far away from me, wood elf engineering never ceases to amaze me.
This Sinalsa, anyway, has been around since the Second Age. This structural feat of engineering is nothing short of a miracle. I agree.
I have to ask, just I know a little bit about how
Go pee real
wood
quick.
elves do their thing. Was this tree crafted for the village, or was it something that was stumbled upon and changed to fit the needs of the settlement?
This tree as he looks behind him and stares. And this look in his face is just that of bewilderment and like he has a strong connection to this tree. He says, "This tree was a treant. He was the first to make friends of this tribe long, long ago. And before he left Hrathen, this is what he wanted. He wanted us to see him every day and to be a vessel to Sinalsa. So he lives on in the entrance to this village, and he will not be forgotten."
After Garan tells me that, I go down to one knee and I place my hand on the bark of the tree beneath me, and I just say, "Thank you." And I use druidcraft to make like a little sprig of the tree grow.
Okay. This sort of feeling you get from the remnants of a treant is vast in its feeling of like rich history. When you do something like that to especially a dead treant, you're able to kind of feel its not its lifespan, but kind of like get an understanding of how long it had lived and kind of like what it saw, essentially. Not necessarily seeing what it saw, but kind of like getting a feeling of some inkling of what this treant might have gone through. And
it's like an emotional imprint, not
yeah.
like...
Yeah, exactly. And this emotional imprint given to you by this treant is something you've never felt before. This treant has, or was around for a long time and has seen various changes in the Silverdale and through the greater world of Hrathen. This might be a legendary treant that you may not know of. And it may,
massive.
And it may.
This is like the biggest treant I've ever seen, right?
Probably. And this
That's
might
huge.
And this might be just a sort of kind of wood elf history that you may not know of, and it's sort of like held true to wood elves. You're not sure. But yeah, as this sort of small ritual takes place, Garand kind of, as the rest of the wood elves have gone forward across the bridges to the other parts of Sinalsa, Garand peering around. "I will have to ask our leader if you can stay. Being that a Furbolg and a Ladrin are within the party, I don't see why he would say no, but nonetheless, I do have to ask."
Would you mind if I came with you?
I don't know if that would be such a good idea, as visitors aren't exactly common.
No, fair enough. I just wanted to express my gratitude to him. So just let him know that I'm very thankful for even us having this limited access to this beautiful city.
And while there may be a time for that, the initial interaction would not be.
No, I'm just saying, you can just let him know that I'm thankful.
Very well. Anyways, come, follow me, as he takes you across this overarching bridge to the various platforms of the different bodies around the tree. There seem to be small... This is not a very huge... Like, this isn't everything that you see, but this is probably like a quarter of it, as there seem to be just enough housing and places that the village might house around 20 to 30 wood elves, small tribe. These little flickers of light, torches amongst inside the buildings and hanging from the trees. There's also this faint sort of like it looks like starlight floating within the air. Fireflies off in the distance as well, kind of accumulating and taking part in that. But it's a very interesting sight. Something that you might see from like high elves, like in equal. This is just essentially just an elvish, like, it's so very elvish is what I'm trying to say. But anyways, he's kind of guiding you through the various bridges. You can see, like, in the center part, there is a large table out in the open. And this seems to be like a gathering place for something. Garan kind of looking over his shoulder. Let me take you to my place of residence, and we'll settle down. We'll get you somewhere to stay while I speak to our leader, if that's fine.
Oh, sure.
As you're taken to a very small sort of residential building, not anything more than probably 200 square feet, if that.
This one.
Sure. All these buildings, for the most part, residentially wise, is they look fairly the same. As you're able to squeeze into this little building, he sort of looks over everybody, makes sure everybody's comfortable, and then he says, "Our leader, he stays only a couple bridgeways from here. Let me speak to him. All I can ask is please do not touch anything, do not wander, and I shall be back momentarily."
After he leaves, Sylvia is going to nudge Iljor, and she asks, hey, Iljor, what's a treant?
Oh, that's, it's really hard to say where they came from. Probably Feywild residents, I'd imagine. It is a species of tree folk. Like, I'm basically like living trees that wander, live their lives. They're ponderous folk. Take their time, live long lives and such, but this is by far the largest tree I have ever seen, by a very large margin. This tree is probably... Ryan, what would be my ballpark for how old this tree was when it passed?
At least 1,000 years.
It probably had to be, 1,000+ years old.
This thing could crush a city and not even realize it. It's that big.
Just keep in mind that like elevator we came through. That's one of the legs.
We probably shouldn't drink here. If I belch fire accidentally, I might set the entire thing off.
Okay, Rosie, I am gonna have to ask you to not joke about that.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna get thrown not out.
Do you think they have ears in here?
Look, this is gonna be a bomb situation all over again.
Yeah.
We're gonna get kicked out of another city.
Yeah, I know you just invited us to your treetop village. My buddy can breathe fire,
He's kind of a ticking time bomb.
I'm not saying that we're gonna get thrown out, Rosie. Like, we're gonna get thrown off the tree.
We get is that how they execute people?
I've actually seen it happen
through the
before,
moon
man.
door.
It's actually pretty brutal. They set up this thing with spikes at the bottom, and they like throw people off the
Oh
top.
God.
I don't know what wood elves you know.
There's a colony like right near me.
And you
Are
witnessed them
they-
do this?
I mean, yeah.
Are they evil wood elves?
I mean, no. It's like a punishment for like bad stuff.
Well, yeah, but like, evil people see things that are good as bad sometimes. So like,
No, they're not evil. They trained with me and my mom, man.
oh,
Fine.
okay.
I think you're making things up. I've never seen a wood elf do something like that before.
What rap? What are you saying these wood elves do again?
Sound nothing like they
Throws
believe
them off
that.
the side of their
like
village.
there's a
They execute people by throwing them off the top of the
Yeah,
tree.
they do it Viet Cong
Into
style with
spikes.
bungee spikes.
yeah.
Is what he's saying.
That's
I mean-
that's their like death. You know their what the fuck is it called? Lethal
penalty?
All right.
Death
Yeah,
penalty.
the death penalty.
Is this,
chuck
what,
them off the
is
top
this what
of
you
the
think they
tree.
actually do, and you're trying to persuade Sylvia to believe that?
I'm telling them that this is actually what
Oh, no,
happens. I'm
I-
not persuading them. This is what Eldor has seen.
I said
I want to make this canon, Ryan.
I simply suggested it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they actually do that." Like, what?
You know
That's
what?
the-
Roll deception, and if you roll high enough, these
I-
wood elves are
I know
no
what
roll
else. There's
rolling
no
game,
way.
motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Deception.
Roll high enough and you deceive yourself to believe.
Roll high enough and it becomes reality.
Lie to yourself strong enough, you will.
I'm just fucking with you.
No, you can't do that afterwards, you fucker.
You've been caught, motherfucker. We get to catch you now.
Yeah, Anarian and Sylvia just share this glance like, that's not what I think wood elves
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I know wood elves, buddy. That's not how this works.
Maybe we just know different. What else? Eldor's not gonna admit that he's wrong at all.
Arosi's never had
Not
any.
familiar.
I've never had any contact with the wood elves before. I mean, they got the elevation for it,
See, man, Rosie gets it.
and if they hit head first, like they just kind of.
Here, we can ask.
It's like the quickest
We can
way.
ask Garand when he comes back, and he'll back me up.
Just
Are you
because
sure that won't
Sylvia's
be
people
offensive?
have the ability to drown people doesn't mean they do it. That doesn't mean wood elves just throw people off the edge of trees just because they can.
Well,
I didn't say they did it because they can, man. It's a freaking death penalty. What are you
yeah,
talking
I
about?
mean, like they're supposed to despise people. Like, why not? It's an easy option. It doesn't cost anything.
No, dust to dust. Return to the
It doesn't
earth.
cost
Chuck 'em
anything
off
to
the top
swing a
of the tree.
blade either.
Does he come back in during this conversation?
Uh-oh.
Within a few minutes, Garand does return.
Oh, hey, Grant.
Opening the door, closing it, as the sounds of chatter within the home kind of die down as soon as he opens the door.
We cease talking about murder.
Is everybody okay? Is everybody? There was just
Yeah,
chatter.
you know,
I just...
I was telling him about this, this.
He was
death
telling us why he's an
penalty
idiot.
That I've seen.
No, hey, there's no need to use mean words, okay?
Ildor.
I was explaining to them this death penalty that I've seen in other wood elf cities, where they like chuck them off the top of trees to like take them out.
Well, like I said, we don't indulge in the.
You can
Anything
ignore
outside of
him.
the-
You don't need to reply to that comment.
I
promise.
Can I roll is there a sleight of hand? I'm gonna like sleight of hand
Wait, what are you
to
doing?
like put my finger up to my lips and like to Garand.
Everybody sees it happen. What do you think?
Oh no,
Yeah,
come on,
everybody
please
sees
let me roll.
What? That's
No,
not, that's
no,
not
six.
sleight of hand, bro. What do you?
Also,
are you trying
it's
to
kind
like?
of hard for you to hide
not
that
allow us
gesture
to
as
see?
well.
Why wouldn't you just say wink, Rap? Why wouldn't you just wink?
Yeah, true.
See, Eldor is wise. He is not intelligent.
Yeah. Grand, for about a moment after you try to explain this in a very terrible way, as there seems to be some sort of, argument between the two. He just goes back to whatever he was going to say.
Please do.
Anyways,
He completely ignores whatever the conversation was.
so I've spoken to our leader, and there's one stipulation. As he is hesitant, but I explained to him that we had traveled together for most of the day, and I did not see any of you as a threat. I did mention the Furbolg, whom I forgive for being slightly
Ignorant.
less than average IQ.
I
As
glare at
well
Marion.
as the Eladrin, who is rarer in this world than Furbolgs. he okayed the stay under one condition, and I apologize if you do not accept, and in which case I will be more than happy to escort you down the tree and find an open clearing for you. But there is a job along the bent staff. We trade with several small colonies up and down the Bentstaff River. And one of the men that we trade with needs escorts down the Bentstaff. Now, this job doesn't really foresee any dangers, but with it being the river and the Silverdale around it, you never know. But we would just need someone to escort him up the Bentstaff River to the outskirts of Eldergard. It should be a free journey, and you will get to where you need to go faster, so I told him I would inquire.
We bring our carriage along to, we don't want to leave it behind, basically.
I would assume we could bring our carriage while we escort him and then just continue on whenever the escort is done.
So, could you mark this on our map? Where
There's a
this
settlement that needs your
river is?
help.
New quest marker appears on
Let
the
me
map.
mark it on your map.
The Bentstaff River and the docks accompanying where we trade is directly east. So as long as you remain east, you will be able to find it.
We can do this for you, for allowing us to stay. Shouldn't be a problem.
It'll get you north faster, as the river is a much faster means than carriage. However, the boat may not be able to hold the carriage and the horses. However, I can inquire as to having somebody bring them to you at your destination, or another location for a price. What's that?
That would be ideal.
What's that, Rat?
I said that would be spectacular.
Very well.
How big is this river?
Oh, the bent staff?
You've seen the Bentstaff before.
Yeah, how
You
big?
probably prayed in it.
It's wide. It's
Okay.
yeah, it's wide. Like it's a thick river.
Like the Mississippi,
boy.
right? Ryan?
Wider.
So thick.
Like let me.
Ryan Google's world's widest river.
It's approximately one large.
It's a gigantic size class river.
Yeah. Let me try to share screen real quick in Discord, kind of show you.
Unacceptable.
Acceptable.
I would say probably something like this, maybe.
A fairly wide river.
If not a little bit wider.
Where's my
Gotcha.
Discord not? My
Yeah.
Discord is fucking.
Okay.
Wide river.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, maybe this is like a lot more. This is a lot closer, and this is like a huge ship. But like,
wow, yeah. Okay.
Okay, back.
I'm
Think
sure.
about the width of the Mississippi.
But
Okay.
anyways, back to the matter at hand. Garand. Look, I appreciate escorting our men, and the least I could do is invite you to dinner.
That would be fantastic. I brought some moss with me from back home if you'd like to try some. I don't know if you guys have the same species around
We
here.
absolutely love moss.
Oh no.
Let's go!
That's an
Right,
ingredient.
this shit
that
right
we-
off the rocks.
Yeah.
Rosie leans over to Anarion. Oh, what else eats?
An Arion has his hand in his heads. or has hands on his head.
Hands
You know what
in
I'm trying to
his
say.
heads.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. He's like, oh no.
Um, dinner is approximately in 25 minutes.
Oh, would you like any help?
Oh no, please! It's
Oh.
the Wood Elves pride themselves on a group meal. But I must ask,
Your skills.
if I may, what brings you to the Dieacre?
And we're actually on our way to help our friend here, Neron.
Our buddy here, he has some business that needs to be taken care of at a town up near Dieacre.
Okay. I'll let you business be your own. Just curious.
No,
The
I mean
Dieacre's-
that's literally the business.
Okay. Well, I'm afraid that there's not much to do in Sinalsa. In the meantime, I guess I hope you guys have no allergies or anything. We pretty much make full meals and with vegetables and various plants of the Silverdale. No meats.
Do y'all brew anything here?
Say again?
Do you brew anything here? Wines, ales?
We brew a singular wine. There is one man within the village that is kind of taking it up as a hobby, but it's not that great.
Oh.
You guys have any root brew?
I'm afraid I have no idea what that is.
Oh darn. I wish I would have bought that barrel. I thought about buying a barrel of root brew way back when, but I didn't buy it.
Even if you did, it would probably still be at your house, because you guys
It'd
didn't
probably
take
be,
you guys didn't take a carriage to Anchorage.
or no, it'd probably be in the bag of holding.
You cannot fit in a
keg
bear.
in.
Yeah. What? No.
What? Like you can't fit a person.
Can I get
in
a
it, so-
sack of?
We could fit a two-person tent. You don't think we could fit a barrel?
What makes you think a
It
two
doesn't-
person?
A barrel doesn't break down.
You don't know how big a barrel is.
I mean, it depends on the type of barrel. There are kegs that are like this big,
Okay, then it's called a mini cake.
like the size, like slightly larger than a football or a soccer
There-
ball.
Yes, I've shown you one. It is
Yeah.
that you could fit a bag of holding, but a regular size keg you would not.
Of course not.
Anyways,
But
So
mini
as
cake is
as soon as Garan turns around, if he goes to leave, leaving us where we are, or is he still standing here?
well, he was just gonna kind of make small talk until dinner commences.
Oh, okay. I
Well,
didn't know if it. I guess we are at his residence. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you some of the moss to see if you guys can use it? I mean, or do
We
you want
have
to?
plenty. I assure you, there's nothing to be done on your part.
While those two are having their conversation about moss, Anarion takes a drink from his flask that he has and kind of looks over to Arosi, and as a gesture.
Don't do it.
Hold on a second. Let me. Oh god. What was it?
I'm like handing it
Cheers.
to you. It's like a flask, yeah.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah.
I swear
yeah.
to God, if I sneeze.
Ryan,
Yes.
one second.
But he caps it and puts it in his coat or his cloak.
Okay.
The thought,
the inside of his shirt.
the thought came to me
Oh,
when
damn it.
Ryan mentioned, I hope you guys don't have any allergies. Or rather, Garen.
I have to click add.
Yeah, they're making a dish made entirely of pollen.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
here we go.
squeezed
Finally.
straight from the
Oh,
tree, fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's
Sap.
what is going on? What are you Rap? You sending me something?
He's putting something in campaign discussion. It's
said
a
something to
main
everybody.
video.
Oh.
Oh.
Anyways, small.
Sylvia's just engaged in the conversation, asking about Wood Elf life.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Clueless.
Gran replies, there's a small discussion over the tribe and the Trient and the village and how long it's been around and the history. And he also inquires as to your previous history a little bit, not, dwelling too far into it, but just kind of making small talk as
I'll tell him the story of Talon's Fall and like what happened to our village.
okay.
I feel like it's an interesting, notable thing that happened in the Silverdell, although it was quite a while ago. I mean, it was we were like one of the largest, Fearbulk settlements in the area.
Okay.
Suddenly it being destroyed would be.
Is it really like just an interesting thing to bring up in conversation for Eldor?
I mean,
It's kind of where it comes from.
He's asking me about my past,
Because, especially with the way that Ildor views things, since he's like joined the circle of the wildfire, destruction is part of growth. So it's
Ildor
just
doesn't have as much to hide about his history as some of us.
Yeah.
part of his history.
Only a little bit of childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, only a little bit.
A minuscule amount.
But as conversations continue and the time kind of just eludes everybody, mid-sentence, Garand is interrupted by the sound of beating drums and chimes outside. As Garand kind of focuses like, oh, well, it's time. Let's go. As he opens the door and following behind, everybody is kind of coming and going from the center table of the village. The table, large enough to seat these 20 or 30 wood elves and a few extra seats. Just in case like instances like these. The table's filled with various dishes, potatoes, steamed broccoli and carrots, and what I have here.
A side dish of moss potatoes.
Yeah, just various vegetarian style dishes, locally grown, as this tribe doesn't seem to feast much on the wildlife, living meat anyway. These wood elves are coming and going, placing things on the table. And it seems like everybody kind of contributes something to the feast, as probably a quarter to half the table sits other wood elves. These wood elves all kind of look alike in terms of like what they wear and their hair. There's only few with light blonde hair, but most have long dark hair, their hair adorned with various plants and done up in various ways to kind of signify stature. And most of them, they don't look particularly clean, but they're not like really dirty either. And they're not very scrawny. They seem to be well built. As you can probably assume, they move around a lot and get their exercise in. As everybody is kind of going about, bringing stuff to the table, taking their seats, Garand, without saying anything, kind of gestures you over, and you get very interesting looks. This instance of visitors is not very common, and for the most part, you feel out of place. But nobody says anything to you as Garand kind of gestures to take seats at the table. And like I said, just various different potatoes, breads, different dishes with plates kind of sitting in front of you all. Probably takes
When
around...
we,
Ildor's following proper wood elven table etiquette.
Yeah, you're just kind of watching everything take place as the table is getting set up. What were you going to say, Narian?
When we go to sit down, Narian will actually remove his hood, something he doesn't do very often.
Okay.
To reveal his full facial features and everything. His hair's probably gotten longer than when anybody else had seen it. It's probably been down to his lower back instead of being his shoulders now. Or not lower back, middle back.
As you unshroud yourself, you don't see where they come from, but you audibly notice several gasps within the crowd. Looking around, people are still staring, some with their hands covering their mouths. This look of concerned, or this concerned look on several of the wood elves' faces. The older wood elves that kind of are showing their age are more content and just kind of accepting what is going on, but nobody says anything. And within probably 2 or 3 minutes, everybody sits at the table, and soon nothing but the faint fires around the village are heard. It's quiet. Nobody appears to be eating as probably 20 or 30 seconds goes by. Everybody stands up from their seats. Garand as well.
Stand.
And the rest of you kind of follow suit awkwardly, not really taking in exactly the etiquette of what to do, but nevertheless kind of just follow suit with everybody else. A man, standing just under 6 foot tall, rounds a corner with a posse of approximately 2 or 3 other wood elves. This man, skin as dark as bark, same sort of intricacy with his hair done up in different things placed within his hair, but he appears to have some sort of stature, some sort of place within the tribe, and who you can only rightfully presume is the leader. This man, dark hair flowing down to this green sort of dress. It doesn't appear to be super expensive, like obviously because they probably made it here, but it definitely looks high end compared to what the other wood elves, are wearing. As he proceeds to walk forward and descend towards the head of the table, the 2 other wood elves kind of break away and stand along the sides. He comes to his seat. Everyone?
Just for perspective, Ryan, how close are we sitting to him?
You're at the other end of the table. So if he's like at the head, you have the long table, and here's the other end. You're like right here.
Okay.
He proceeds to say, this booming voice echoing amongst the trees. Everyone, tonight we have guests. And while you may have not seen some of them before, at least in the likes of their race, we greet them with open arms. As his sight peers towards Garand. Please treat them as if they were us. They are only here for one night. Now, let's eat. As he sits down, everybody else follows suit. Garand, kind of nudging Carlisle next to him. That's him. Now, at this point, everybody takes around 20 minutes to eat, as everybody's kind of like gathering things, whatever. If you need anything, just nod towards the individual and they will pass you something. But we do not talk. And everybody else kind of like faintly hears him, especially if whoever's at the other end of Garand faintly hears him, so everybody kind of takes this in as you're grabbing various things depending on what you guys want to eat. But for the most part, the feast remains silent.
I wordlessly offer moss to the wood elf that's like one of the wood elves sitting near me.
And he kind of takes a pinch and, kind of gestures, as it's like a thank you.
Is there any fish?
There is no meat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
No fish. It's purely vegetarian. But the food is it's a little blander than what you normally get, but it doesn't taste bad. It's very rich in nutrients, and it kind of, it's like almost like after eating healthy, it's like you feel energized. It's like this was a good, this was good for me. And it sort of feels like that way too with grabbing the various dishes, the various breads and potatoes. Everything seems to be well made and cooked well. As you could probably presume that meals like these and food of this sort has been prepped and prepared through recipes for hundreds of years, if not thousands, depending on where wood elves, how long they've been here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the feast goes on as 25 minutes later, everybody kind of, once they're done, will sit and wait, and we'll continue eating. Once the party's done, Grand will kind of nudge you again, Carlisle. As you look over, you can see Garand is already finished. He has all of his utensils, his plate, and his napkin kind of set, and he's just kind of sitting there, gesturing to you to kind of like follow suit once you're finished, just to uphold the etiquette of Wood Elf culture. 5 or 10 minutes goes by as the rest of the Wood Elves around the table and around Sinalsa finish their meals, as most of the food on the table is pretty much gone. You don't really see Wood Elves ever preparing food and it not be finished. There's nothing that goes to waste. And if so, it usually gets processed into something else to, for other means. Nothing ever gets thrown away. Once everybody else is finished that you can see, the leader at the end of the table, you can see him looking around. He stands up. And about a second or two later, the rest of the Wood Elves stand up. The sounds of chairs kind of maneuvering out as the Wood Elves wait patiently for their leader to dab his mouth with a napkin, turn around, and ascend back up the staircase. Once he is out of sight, the Wood Elves immediately start grabbing dishes from the table and taking them back to their residences. Garand as well grabs a couple, and he nudges you, Carlisle. Take a dish or two. Take something.
I take a few things. Just like the closest things I can grab.
Yeah, take like 1 or 2 pots or something.
Is there any bread left?
There's nothing left.
Oh, you said that there was almost nothing left, so I was like, is
If
there
there was in the account something, but in this instance, nothing is left.
Okay. Yeah, I just help carry as much as I can reasonably without risking dropping anything.
Everything is brought back to Garand's place of residence, kind of maneuvering about the arched bridges and through the walkways, and trying to move your way also through other Wood Elves who are also kind of taking things back to their place of residence. Garand opens up his door to come in, and everybody else follows suit. Garand lets everybody in, closes the door. Thank you all for making that as painless as possible.
Not a problem at all.
These dishes are shared amongst the Sinalsa tribe, and I will get to them later. Just kind of place them in the kitchen area. And this is like essentially a studio block. There is a small place for, it would look much like your shack in Iljor, where there's just a small place for cooking and various dishes.
A kitchenette.
Yeah, basically. Garand sets the dishes on the tables, and the rest of you follow suit. I apologize for the lack of bedding, but this is the safest place within a good amount of miles here, so I don't presume anything to be bothering you here in Sinalsa.
It is okay.
But-
We all have sleeping rules if the worst comes to worst.
Well,
I
we have
believe-
guards amongst the village, so no need for a night watch.
I believe we have a few bedrolls. Lay those out. It's alright.
And looking upon the square footage of the place, it's everybody can lay out their bedrolls and kind of at least be comfortable somewhat. Have a little leg room to maneuver about. But Grant speaks up. Is there anything I can get you? I know we just had our meals. I'm assuming everybody's kind of feeling a little sleepy. If everybody's good, we can rest.
Yes.
Again, thank you for letting us into your home.
Don't thank me, thank our leader. He was more understanding. I must have caught him in a good mood. Something's been troubling him lately, and I don't know what it is. Could be other tribes in the Silverdell or I don't know. Things are changing in the Silverdell, as you might know. Things have been changing for hundreds of years, as a matter of fact, but things just aren't what they used to be.
I agree.
I'm nodding my head as he speaks.
Well,
because I'm dealing with it.
Well, anyways, let me take my leave, and I usually will wake and return by daylight, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I shall see you at dawn.
Very well.
At dawn, we ride.
He just gives you this kind of like cringe look as
He
takes his leave through the door.
She goes to shake his hand.
All right, he shakes your hand.
It's her hand is always like a little bit slimy.
Okay, as he shakes it and kind of wipes it off on his vest, and proceeds out the door and closes it. I love how like Ildor shares like a universal, or like all the races in the world share this universe, like know this universal cringe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eldor sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eldor sense, yeah.
But in this sort of small room, everybody kind of lays off their bedrolls and is able to get comfortable and fall asleep fairly easily if there's nothing else left to be discussed for the day. We could pick it up at dawn, but let me know.
I have a question for you, Ryan. So it says with Druidcraft that I can instantly light or snuff out a candle, torch, or small campfire. Could I dim this fire in the room? I don't know
Yeah,
if that's...
I'd say you probably could.
Yeah, so I'm just going to dim the fire a little bit so it's not so,
Bright, yep.
Well, I was thinking, because the people who are directly in view of the fire, I don't want it to, keep them up.
It's not overwhelming. I mean, there's nothing really, you can dim it a little bit and it'd be fine, but, you were fine before, but it just creates, more of a mood lighting. If anybody's sensitive to light while they sleep, but yeah, anything else?
Once, no, I'm good.
Okay.
Never mind.
Carlisle, Sylvia, Orosu?
Resting.
Sleeping
Laying
near
down.
the fire, keeping warm.
All right. As people turn to their beds and either meditate or sleep for the night, Orosi, as you lay by the fire, the trickling of flames peering up, this sort of feeling of it's happening again. You're adventuring. You're with this group of folk that you traveled with a year ago, and you just have this overwhelming sense of it's bringing you all together, even though you have been traveling together for only the better part of it today, I guess, really. But it sets in. It sets in before you go to bed, before you fall asleep, that it's happening. It's happening again.
As he's falling asleep, a wide grin just kind of curls up into him.
Eldor too. I'm just imagining he walks in and all of us are just asleep with massive grins plastered on our faces. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
But the night presses on as everyone awakes in the early morning hours. I think I can make this daylight, actually.
Ooh, fancy.
As everyone awakes, the light from the sun peering through the Silver Dell. It's obviously much brighter because you're kind of on the tippy tops of the Silver Dell. But probably like around 20 or 30 seconds after most of you fully awake, Garand steps through the door, and those of you who are still sleeping are kind of jolted awake by this sudden door opening and closing. Oh, I apologize, I'm late. Would anybody like breakfast? As he hands out a small portion of like oats from a bowl.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's
Oats containing with like various fruits and stuff, so it's like more like a fruity granola than a like a
Yeah.
finger food. He kind of passes it around. So, I don't know what your schedule is like, but I could brief you a little bit about the journey to the Bentstaff and escort you a little bit further from the Silver Dell and say our farewell.
You had mentioned that it wasn't real appropriate for me to introduce myself to your leader last night, but would that be possible today, before we leave?
I can see, and I can ask. The worst he can say is no, I suppose.
Thank you very much.
And Arion just rolls up his bedroll and says, "Well, I'm prepared whenever you are."
All right. Then, without further ado, everybody gathers their things, and Garand proceeds to help you guys with your stuff and leads you out of his place of residence. Iljor following closely behind. You come upon a building, a housing in Sinalsa that's quite large compared to the other places. Many windows adorn the sides and the front, as the architecture of this building is much more structurally interesting than the rest. Various carvings within the wood depict instances throughout history that you're unfamiliar with, but they do appear to be pictures of something, battles and trees and in the sort. Garand, upon coming to the door, looks at the rest of you. Give me 2 seconds. I'll see if he's in. As he walks through the door, and probably a minute or two goes by. You hear faint sounds of speaking within. A couple minutes later, Grant exits the building and turns to you, Iljor. I apologize for the rest of the party, but he will only speak to the Furbolg and the Eladrin.
Would you like to come, Carlisle?
Of course.
As Grant takes a deep breath, he walks to the door, and he opens it, and he kind of holds it open, like, waiting for you, Iljor, as you both go in, Garand leading, as you're met with a very open area. This open area has kind of like the base level with probably 3 or 4 steps up to a higher level where there is a giant seat.
Like a throne?
Like a throne. And there's approximately 6 guards, 3 on either side. As this large wood elf individual doesn't sit on his throne, but he's standing to the side with his hand on it. As Garand turns around and looks at you, Iljor, and he kind of gives you a nod.
I bow.
I do the same.
The man steps away from the throne and begins to descend the few steps that are there closer. A furbolg and an eladrin. It's not every day you see your kind around here.
Yeah, it's quite a story of how we all met.
Not every day we wander into a place like here either.
That is true. I do greatly appreciate you allowing me and my friends to stay in this wondrous location.
It was a good time.
Please, don't let me be misunderstood. It's an honor to meet a furbolg and an eladrin. Two very different races that I very much respect in terms of culture and history. I'd like to think of you as a friend, and I would like you to think of me as a friend as well. My name is Agorn. I hope you've enjoyed your stay here at Sinalsa.
Nice to meet you, Agor.
And he reaches out his hand to shake yours.
Yeah, I shake his hand.
Me as well.
Now, Grant here has told me that you would like to speak with me, and I'm curious as to what you might have to say to me.
One second.
Cat pause.
Yeah, cat pause. And I wanted to show basic what I was typing in my notes. I have listed here Garand, Wood Elf. Originally, when we met him, kinda an ass. And then I put another comma, turns out kinda okay. And then I have Aragorn, leader of Garand settlement, chill.
I put down for the dinner party when Narion revealed his hair. Actually, they kind of nope, kind of racist to Narion. There we go. Just racist.
You're muted, Nick.
They don't like the dark elves, man.
Nah.
But
They ain't about it.
I just wished to speak with you to see how you guys were doing. I know that Garand wasn't really wanting to go too much deep into your guys' business, but with the changes that have been going around in the Silver Doe recently, I just wanted to make sure, I can put you guys in contact with other Wood Elf settlements, if you feel like that would be necessary. I just wanted to offer my aid if it could be of any use.
While I appreciate the hospitality that you're offering, I think we have everything covered here in Sinalsa. And if we need aid, and if we need something, I have my connections as well. But I appreciate it.
Okay. Me and my family were struggling a little bit this past year, so I just wanted to, see if I could help your family.
He turns around and walks towards the throne again, and appears to grab something from around it. He turns around and he holds this flask, this vial, not vial, more like a flask. It's clear, and it houses some sort of golden liquid as he comes back down. And you can see this golden liquid shimmer in the light as if it's it's almost like it's got glitter in it. And it doesn't, it seems to be very viscous, as it doesn't coat the walls of the vial as he moves it around. But it does glisten in the light that is coming through the windows. He walks towards you, Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
I have great respect for Eladrin culture, and I know that journeys in the Silver Dell and in Hrathen in general are very hostile. You strike me as the magic user.
Correct. As most Eladrin are.
You especially, though. There are various kinds that take their deeds to construction work or religious means, but I see something. I see something in you. I'd like you to take this. And if you're ever in a hostile situation and are hurting, drink this. And he hands you this this vial where it doesn't seem to weigh a lot, but when you take it in your hands is slightly heavier than what you thought. But yeah, it's sort of like it's the size of a typical like healing potion.
Right.
But it seems to be more than just a healing potion.
An elixir, if you will.
I give another bow, and then Carlisle just says, "Thank you," and he puts it in his bag.
I hope that if either of you two are in the area again, you'll visit Sinalsa a second time. You'll be greeted with open arms. You know, I'll have to talk to the village people, and I did notice a drow in your party. It's
That is correct.
It's something that wouldn't be looked upon as a friendly folk coming in and visiting, but you know, I trusted Garand, and I trusted that there was a Verbolg and an Eladrin in the party, and well, you know, I digress. It's a pleasure having you here, and like I said, if you find yourself in the area again, please.
We will. Thank you for your
I
time.
just kind of give a nod. Yeah.
Well, is there anything else, Garand? Garand kind of looks over at you two. Farewell, gentlemen. Good luck. As he turns around and heads back towards his throne, Garand kind of looking at you two, walking back towards the exit of the building, coming out. You see the rest of the party. You guys see Carlisle and Iljor kind of step out, give let out a long breath. And yeah, you guys are back together again. So,
what took you so long?
Well, he had a lot to say, and he gave me something, and I hold out the vial. He said, "If we're ever in need, drink it. We need
So it's liquor?
saving, almost. No, not in that sort of need. Neurosis,
Okay.
but I like the thought.
Do we recognize what it is, right?
nope. This appears to be some sort of wood elf conjuration. Some
Wood elf magic.
Some wood elf magic shit.
They got their sparkles in there.
And it's
You get high as fuck if you drink it.
it's not a vial. It's like a flask. It's like what a healing potion would look like, but instead of red liquid, it's this gold, glistening, glittery liquid.
This is like one of those, like 4 max heal, max mana restore items you find in an RPG game.
Did you ask him anything about what was troubling him?
He wasn't very willing to speak on it. I did ask.
Grand speaks up. Well, let me lead you back to the entrance of Sinalsa. As he starts to walk back towards where you guys had came up in the tree, gesturing you guys to step in. The bark of the tree closes in front of you as the last sights of Sinalsa leave your view. Going back down to the forest floor, stepping out, it starts to rain once more. Let me bring a light.
You gotta
So
read
the
through
inside of
village.
Sinalsa was like kind of climate controlled.
Possibly, as the bark of the tree swings open, the cold leaves of the ground meet your eyesight again. Stepping out, peering up, Sinalsa is shrouded by the trees and cannot be seen. You would have easily just walked by it if you had not known it was there. Garand leads you back towards your horse and carriage. Again, I want to thank you for making that so seamless. If you follow the path just a few miles west of the Bentstaff, once you get approximately a couple miles away, head directly east. There's a dock there. There's a man. His name is John. He holds a riverboat, and he's taking precious goods to the outskirts of Eldergard. He will also have a plan for your horse and carriage. He'll be able to hire someone to get them to where they need to go. But as for myself, I don't have anything else for you.
Well, thank you for having us. It was a beautiful village.
Thank you.
Thank you for your hospitality. It was greatly appreciated.
Well, farewell, gentlemen.
Once everybody else is like kind of hopped on the cart and gotten ready, and Arion wants to go to Garand for a handshake.
Okay, and
then, yeah, go ahead.
as you shake his hand, it's a very equal exchange. There's great amounts of respect exchanged both ways.
And I say, try not to think of us as drow and wood elf. We're just two men trying to survive in a crazy world.
While I agree with that settlement, I understand that everyone is different, but agree with that sentiment. I understand everyone is different, but there are many out there who will only see you as a drow and will only see me as a simple wood elf. But I understand.
He nods his head.
And without another word, he turns around and begins to disappear back into the Silverdell. As you are left in your own company with your horse and carriage, seemingly well kept. They appear to have some sort of. They seem to have been taken care of in your while you guys were gone, essentially. What is Vasek doing?
That's rap.
It's rap.
Oh.
Salted, battered, like a fish stick.
You see, I can't hit you so easily when you're on the other side of the screen, but since you're right here, I can just...
He can just commit assault.
Yep.
Well, if there's nothing left to be said or nothing left to do, we can journey on. If
Yes, sir.
you guys are good.
Set off.
journeying forward a few miles, you hit the point in which Garand was talking about around 11 a.m., fairly early. The Bentstaff River isn't that far from Anchorage, as everything is kind of close within each other. Heading eastward off the path can still be maneuvered around with your horse and carriage, as there appear to be some sort of trade route, some well-paved, at least good enough for a horse and carriage to go down, as this can probably be assumed to be used by the Wood Elves and whatever colonies they're trading with. But it's kind of off to the side, and it's not very well seen initially. But looking around, you guys easily kind of maneuver to it. And this pathway is really only as wide as your horse and carriage. Like, it's not wide by any means, and there's not a whole lot of wiggle room. But with rain persisting and the fog still there, as the sort of afternoon or the noon is still seems to be cold and rainy. Journeying down that pathway for approximately 2 hours, you hear the sounds of rushing water. Everybody at this point has essentially put on extra layers and what they can. So good on you, Orosi, for investing in some Gucci outerwear.
Yes. Now I can be cold in style.
He's got a Supreme hoodie.
The faint sounds of rushing water begin to fill your ears. This part of the Silverdale is filled with various instances of pine and juniper filling your nostrils. This is kind of like on the outskirts of the river is where things are most plentiful and where things are grown the best anyways.
The most vibrant.
Yeah. And journeying onward, there seems to be this small dock with a small shack, a riverboat sitting on the dock, and a man on the dock with various boxes and stuff. Very small little thing he's got going on. It appears to be some sort of like docking station for maybe like a house or small colony, like an hour or two, like somewhere else in the forest, but nevertheless a docking station for trading. There's nowhere to park your horse and carriage. There's somewhere to like tie off maybe on a tree or something. But the man is standing there on the dock, kind of fiddling with various papers. Human, just under 6 foot, dark hair, beard. Regular attire, commoner attire, as he kind of looks up as he sees the horses maneuvering and kind of getting closer. He kind of takes a few steps forward and just kind of peers at you guys as you come in on the horse and carriage.
I wave.
And he puts a pin in his other hand and kind of waves back as he begins to move forward towards you guys. And he's kind of waiting on the end of the dock for you guys to come, as there's not really the best way for your horse and carriage to get closer, but kind of off to the side, tie you to a tree, and then proceed to walk down.
So we disembark from the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
As you come up to the man who's standing at the end of the dock. The man kind of looks at you funny as a group of 5 individuals who are all of varying races is odd. But nevertheless, you get closer and he kind of rests his hands on his hips. Are you here from Sinalsa?
We are.
How'd
Grant
you know?
sent us.
Interesting. Interesting that the Wood Elves would send 5 very interesting people. You know what? Anyways, let's disembark. I'm already running late.
Thing, yeah.
If you guys could just help me with these very last boxes we can bring up on the river. Or on the boat, sorry. As he's
Yeah, I
kind
mean, I'll do my best to assist, although my strength sure is a whopping 8.
I'll do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Me and Carlisle will provide moral support.
Go, go.
I better hear you guys cheering through this.
Oh yeah.
Rosie, go ahead and make a strength check. Anybody who's helping make a strength check.
Yeah.
I will still attempt to help, despite my.
Roll
Not
that
that, not that
dice.
bunch. You gotta hit the strength
boy.
button, yeah.
Sylvia's going to spend a couple minutes.
That's my strength check right there. Why are your dice bad, Ram? Your digital dice are bad too.
Hey, it's an 11.
I'm
Yeah,
just
with my modifier.
These two, I'm like, let them figure it out.
Sylvia's
Bill
going
Jor
to
attempts to
spend a
help.
couple minutes
Yeah.
going into the river, and she wants
Oh
to...
wow, Illajor's roll was better than mine.
I mean, so is mine, and I have a -1 to my save.
What were you saying, Sylvia?
She wants to contact Sana as these guys are...
She's gonna
Just
shove
so
her
you know,
head
Eli,
in
you're
water
like
border
really
soap.
quiet, my man.
Okay.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Turn him up in Discord. He's fine with me. What are you trying to say to Persona?
So, she wants to contact Persona about the portal to the plane of water and its stability.
Okay. What do you say to her as you're channeling her? Or him, sorry.
Him, yeah. She says, Persona, hear me. I've heard that the plane of water has been becoming more unstable as of late. I want to know if I am needed there anytime soon.
This, roll a, what is it?
Religion.
Religion?
Religion check.
Alright. It is...
15.
15.
As the words manifest themselves, either within your mind or through your mouth, and whether you're saying them in person, doesn't really matter. You get this feeling that Persona is listening, and he's taking in your message, but you don't hear a response. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't think Sylvia would presume it to be a bad thing.
Yeah,
but
I think usually with prayers, it's sometimes a delayed response.
You don't presume it to be a bad thing, but if you were needed, or if you felt like the Triton folk would, if this is like a genuine, all hands call, then you would know.
Yeah.
But congratulations, everybody made decent strength checks as you load up the last remaining crates onto the riverboat. And this riverboat isn't very large. I mean, it's kind of big, but it's structurally just to hold cargo. There's like quarters underneath and everything, and there's like a large cage, I guess like fence over the top of it. You'll see when I bring up the picture, but it's just big enough to kind of have you guys on it and carry cargo essentially. And as you place the last remaining box, John, he wipes his brow. Nice to meet you. What's your name again? I'm John. Denarian.
Call me Neron.
And he's kind of like looking at the rest of the party as well.
Sylvia's just climbed out of the river. I'm Sylvia.
I'm Iljor.
Rosie waves his hand slightly. Rosie Rogar, Clan of Rosie.
Carlisle.
Well, nice to meet you all. I won't indulge in what exactly the Wood Elves are doing, sending the likes of you guys here, because it seems like you guys kind of come from various places. But I appreciate the help, and let's get this thing moving, shall we? I'm already running kind of a little late, but as you know the destination, or at least you should know the destination is on the outskirts of Eldergard, so we should get there in a couple days.
Okay.
All
Now,
right.
we had spoken with with Agorn.
At the town, and he had said that there would be a way for us to get our carriage brought to the destination.
Yes, of course. I'll mark it in my manifest, and once we get to Eldergard, we will send party back for your horse and carriage. Is there any particular place that you want them? Do you want them in Eldergard, or you have another destination?
Yeah, well, what do you guys think? Would it be better to have like the horse and carriage meet us up, like further?
I think so, because I'd rather not just wait somewhere till that point.
Agreed.
Let's on the map, Ryan. Like, what would be our next?
You tell me, dude.
It's the
Yeah,
map
it's
takes
really
like
hard.
forever to load, Ryan. That's why I was asking.
Well,
I
even
can't
in your
zoom
journal.
in.
I can't actually zoom in when it's in our journal.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
It's really hard
yeah.
to see.
Zooming in is atrocious.
You can't zoom.
There's,
Like,
it's in the
there's
Discord.
not even an option for us. Oh yeah, it is in the Discord.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is it pinned?
It's the only
It's
one
just-
in maps.
Maps and handouts.
Yep.
Maps. Gotcha.
There we go.
This is the internet deal with.
How do I zoom
I'm
in on
just
this?
watching bars appear slowly across the
control
screen,
zoom.
like it's scanning the image.
Control and scroll,
Oh yeah.
and then you can hold middle click to drag around.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the size of the image.
It's taking multiple seconds for just the image to load.
My
Yeah, like
Foundry
it's like
crashed.
freeze frame. Oh wait, no, it loaded the entire image, zoomed in. Yes. No.
Oh my
The
god.
the world map on my end loads in like 5 seconds.
It
So
probably took a grand total of like 30 seconds
It's pretty.
for the whole thing to load.
It is a show to watch in and of itself.
Actually, maybe it is best for it to go to Eldergard.
It'd be quite a distance for it to catch us up. Are there any other like small settlements on the way from Eldergard to Thalador?
yeah, there are a couple. There's one at the T intersection where the Benstaff meets the Dalric.
Oh,
Here's my thoughts. If
I forgot
we're
something
going,
marked up.
Yeah.
if we're planning on using the cart to get to our final destination, we should just have it meet with us in Eldergard.
Well, but they're probably. I mean, if we're wanting it in Eldergard, we're gonna have to wait in Eldergard for it to show up once we get there.
We're gonna have to wait for it to show up wherever we're going anyway. Because if we get to Eldergard and say we want to have it delivered at Thalador, if we leave for Thalador, it's still got to catch up to Thalador. No matter what, we're waiting for the cart.
It'd probably be better if we wait for the cart anyway. Any wait time that we get it from Eldergard compared to walking somewhere is gonna be. It's
It
gonna
would
be much
probably still be quicker if we waited for
Yeah.
the cart.
That is fair enough. We'll wait for it in Eldergard.
Very well, I'll mark it down. Obviously, there's a fee, and you'll pay that once we get to Eldergard. But if there's no further questions, I'd like to make good time. Perhaps we maybe even be able to
Yes.
get there in a day.
Yes, let's.
Ideal.
So, is it a thing for druids to not know the speed of the rivers around them?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I thought druids knew most things about nature. So.
I do, actually.
Oh.
You can cover about 30 hours worth of travel in a boat as compared to traveling on land.
Yeah, by boat is probably the fastest means of travel. I haven't decided if I want to put airships in this campaign yet or not. But
We definitely haven't seen them yet.
I would,
The main bad guys are gonna discover them.
yes. They're gonna get the fresh tech first, and then we'll have to pick up after them.
Maybe not in this continent, right? If so,
yeah, maybe.
There's a steampunk continent somewhere.
But
once the Wild Wild West.
releasing the lines, the boat gets underway along the river. As it kind of moves about, there's just one place in the front where he can actually steer and kind of control the boat as it slowly begins to back up into the water and proceed forward. Silverdale, the Silverdale, how it looks on the river is astounding. It's being on the water in general is just very soothing. And for the first time, this is kind of like the first time you guys are traveling by water anywhere. And it feels much safer than being literally anywhere else because it's far away from, actual land.
And that's when the Naga struck.
Yeah. That's when the Kraken was going up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap,
just
cracker,
river
pop,
kraken.
our bones.
The journey on the boat, at least for the next 4 or 5 hours, is very calm. The rain still persists. The cold, obviously, still persists. The fog has let up a little bit, and it's decently. You can kind of see on the banks of the river, the banks of the river, but you can't see deep within the forest at all by any means. Let me bring you to a new scene, utilizing something that's pretty cool. If you guys know anything about parallaxia.
If Rap can load it.
Oh, yes. That went very quickly, actually.
Ryan,
Yeah.
you made a moving boat.
Huh?
You made a moving boat.
I did. I made a moving boat. Yeah.
Hell yeah! I can see the seam.
So
in the
if someone gets kicked overboard,
80 strafe.
do they just, fall off?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my legs are broken at this moment.
One must get really good at the 80-80 strafe.
So, this is the boat that you're on, traveling down the river,
Become a roasty.
which is actually, like looking at the map, it's the Dalric is the main river, which leads into the Bent Staff, which you guys will go.
Gotcha.
So you're actually traveling down at the very front of the boat. Holy shit! Make a
I'm
fucking
I'm playing
No.
Sea of Thieves.
No.
I'm
No.
making a boarding action.
no. Make an acrobatics check, motherfucker.
Make an acrobatics check.
Roll that shit right now.
Fucking around.
Alright, let me find it.
Now
Let me
shit got
find
real.
it.
No, right.
Let me find it. That's a
Put me
12.
back.
12 as you God damn it.
You're going on a trip.
As you kind of get up on whatever the fuck this is on a boat. I don't even know what this is.
The bow.
Yeah, kind of, but the bow would be like the ship itself. This is like coming off
Yeah.
the.
That's the prow.
Yeah, it's coming
It's a
off the
prow.
bow. As you kind of get up on top of it and try to move forward, John kind of is like, whoa, wait. Be careful. What are you doing? As you continue to move forward. However, you're able to kind of just barely keep your balance as you move to the very end, as you're peering down. It's
Trying to collect my thoughts.
Anyway,
You dumb motherfuckers,
I was
don't make
the-
me do it.
I was the Windows screensaver.
I get a cool ass map going. Y'all want to fucking jump in the water?
I ain't gotten the water yet. I'm just at the tip.
Sylvia's
Basically
just
causing
very
this.
carefully watching.
Oh my god, basic stop.
That was the dingbat that was swimming.
This
Just jealous of my graceful
this
flight.
viewpoint where you're at right now in Arian, as you've kind of managed to kind of sit up a little bit and look upon the river in front of you and the river behind you is it's cool. It's a cool sight as the water, the cool breeze of the water kind of comes up, and the water looks cold as fuck, by the way. Like, you do not want to fall into this or risk slight hypothermia. But as the journey moves forward, the
Yeah, okay, but
the dusk is probably 4 hours away, so you still got some time. But small talk is made amongst you guys, and while most of the journey remains calm and unbothered from anything, Arosi, I'd like you to make a perception check.
Almost a natural one.
9. As you peer out of the water, you notice a disturbance in the water, but you haven't quite caught what it actually is.
Something in the water.
It's the Naga.
Sylvia peers down into it.
we literally.
It's gonna be
said
right
that.
at throwing people again.
We literally try water one time, and crack.
One time. Never again.
It's a river cracking, guys. How often do you get fish going onto the shore here?
What?
Not onto the shore, onto the surface. My words are not good right now, guys.
How often did a fish walk?
Hey, how often do you got fish coming up on shores around here?
Basically going after that mushroom.
Yeah.
No
Oh,
way,
boy.
What's
How
the
many
fish
times
doing?
do you see the fish on the earth?
Do I see anything in the water?
Make a perception check.
Little dicky.
Oh! A 3.
You
It's a
notice
7.
Roll it
you
again.
notice the remnants of the disturbance in the water that Arosi had pointed out. As he's pointing to it, but you don't see anything particular in the water.
Does Ildra see anything being on the other side of the boat?
Make a perception check.
I'll also, if I can I make a perception check?
Yeah.
Sitting at the front.
Yeah, go back on that pole there. Check.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh,
What is
shit!
up with
Whoa!
that?
Whoa! You're not allowed to have those.
Iljor.
yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's banned actually. Reroll.
Yeah.
Iljor. As everybody else
Telescopic vision activates.
As everybody else is on the starboard side of the boat, you looking out on the port side, peer out into the water, and notice this dark substance floating on the surface as it kind of sits a little bit on the surface, probably like 40 feet out, and then falls back into the water, creating this ripple effect. John is kind of peering over his shoulder. Hey, what is going on?
Do I recognize what that creature was, Ryan?
You don't.
Okay. Well, it looks like there's something looking at your boat here from the water.
Sylvia, she asks, she nudges Eldor. What'd you see? What was it?
Well, it looked like basically like a puddle on the water.
And
that's
immediately
sort of-
as you begin saying this mud-like creature comes
What the
over
fuck
the
is
edge
that?
of the water and attempts to grapple you and fall backwards into
Grapple
the
me?
water. Yeah, grapple you, and it begins to fall backwards into the water. Carlisle, as you see this, you see it come up over the side of the
Zoom in
boat.
more racing.
Arosi, at the same time, you see many other creatures come over the side of this boat. And you see others. And these are just the ones
Can
you
I-
can see.
Can I make an action the moment I see the first one?
Sure.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself,
Okay.
which
do we all-
doesn't actually take a spell slot. It's just one of my
Eldritch
Eldritch
Invocations.
Invocations. Yeah.
All right. Iljor, I would like you to make an opposing grapple check.
Those are just strength checks, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's
Real
Also-
unfair. Saving throw or ability check?
I think it's athletics, opposing athletics checks for grappling and fighting.
Oh.
But I think I house ruled it to where it was opposing strength checks.
Saving throw or ability check?
He said strength check.
Yeah, just do strength. Just do ability check. 11. And his roll, I will write down for next session.
Oh,
Lift
we got
more
the turd
hands,
pterodactyls coming out.
Yeet.
Oh shit, bro.
That cliffhanger roll.
This is not good.
Wrote it down in my notebook, and I will reveal what happens at next session. But, and then we'll try out this group initiative thing, and we'll see. We'll figure out the intricacies of that and like who actually rolls and what happens. But, I'm excited to try out and just like having everybody go at the same time, see what kind of strategic things you guys end up doing. But
Ripping people and soccer kicking them in the head.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, these creatures are like, it looks like mud. It's like mud manifest, and it has like a physical form.
Creature from the Black Lagoon got it.
Yeah, multiple.
Yes.
Nasty little boys.